that's a great topic to discuss, Nezrin. As you said about the community, can you tell us a little bit more about the community? How did it form? Did you guys know each other prior to the funeral?
Yeah, no, that's an interesting question point to go over because you know what's surprising? At least me and well, actually none of us that had gone there from California knew Daniel's family.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy because you know, it was actually one of Daniel's prior wishes that we meet his family and he would bring us to Illinois. We would meet his family and just like I don't know, go sightseeing in Illinois or something. I don't know. But just like spending time with his family there. It's so interesting and so bittersweet how his wish got fulfilled after he passed.
Right.
Because all of us went to the funeral service together. And seeing his family, it's just like, they're such wonderful people. And we were all in this moment together, just supporting each other, giving each other hugs, and rubbing people's backs when they were like crying and giving tissues. It's just like we were there. We were just so supportive of one another.
And connected.
Yeah, like connected. And when you bring up the term connected, the pastor actually said that this quote that will always stick with me. She said, it is, no, you all are connected to one another in this room because of Daniel. Because of your unique connection with Daniel.
Right.
You all are connected with one another.
Right.
And that just really, even though this was mentioned at a funeral, where it's like about the death of a lovable person, this ironically gave me hope for humanity.
Right.
Because it is through this death where we're able to celebrate life, cherishing someone's past life's memories, and also, you know, celebrating the lives of future people, right? The people's futures, and just, you know, support one another. And it was so special that we were supporting one another. It was heartbreaking, like trying to let go of Daniel.
Right.
But I personally don't think I'll ever be able to let go of him, but I'll always, like, remember him, and he's just such a wonderful person.
That's amazing. I like how you guys all came together and supported each other. It was kind of like you guys each gave each other a gift. And I know that you brought this up previously, that you did end up giving his family a gift. Can you, like, speak on that?
Yes, I remember when we spoke, yes, I did bring up that my family gifted his family something memorable. And I don't know if any of our listeners have heard of this thing called Paint Me Royal, but it's basically this type of little creative business, where you submit photos, and there are these handful of amazing artists that transform your image into a royal one. Wow. So you look like you're from a different era, right?
Right.
And with Daniel, we submitted his photo and gave like some background context to the artist, saying that, hey, this is one of our really close family friends that have passed away suddenly. And with that knowledge, they created this Daniel looking like a prince, right?
Looks like royalty.
Royalty, exactly. Like someone like watching over you. Right. It's noble, courageous, just like reflecting how he was as a person.
Right, as a person, yes.
Exactly. And I'm trying to remember what had happened afterwards. We did give the painting to his family after I presented my eulogy for him. And it was so emotional. Yeah, it's a special gift to them because now they always know that Daniel will be a part of them, you know, always watching over. Right. And speaking of watching over, actually, the superstitious activities. Yes. There were some very interesting things that occurred. Now, I'm not sure if you're superstitious yourself, Iyore.
Definitely am.
Okay.
I'm into this. I would love to hear about this.
Okay, so perfect. Like, I want to hear your thoughts and see if you can relate to any of this after I mention what I noticed. And, okay, so first to begin with my mom and her boyfriend. When they had found out that Daniel had passed away. They were heartbroken and they were grieving intensely. And there is related, this is related to what I'm about to say. Like, there were these old plants, right? This pot full of decaying flowers at our front doorstep, right? On the right side of the door. And how do I explain this? It's like, my mom suddenly realized that she needs to throw these flowers away. That they're decaying and they're just like, it doesn't need to be there anymore,
there's no purpose for them.
There's no purpose for them. They've done their job. They've lived their life. So she throws them away, and literally after she does that, not 5 minutes later, there's a knock on the door, right? And when she opens the door, she sees that there's no one there, but there's a brand new pot of plants right next to that same spot, replaced the same spot as that old flower.
You know what that makes me think of?
Yeah, what?
I recently watched a video on, like, Buddhism.
Okay.
And it was basically talking about how a lot of people don't realize the cycle of life for flowers.
Really?
And how it connects to humans as well. And that makes me think, like, you know how Daniel passed away and the flower kind of decayed. It's like, okay, this is the end. And when the new flowers were brought in, his new life began.
Wow.
New growth, new, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not here physically, but I have now started my new life. And I'm a new person and I'm growing.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah, that's what my mom and her boyfriend thought as well. It's just that they were shocked at this. Like, they even named the plants after Daniel. Yeah, they call him Daniel. They call him Daniel now, right? And it's just so sweet. And okay, and after the plants were given, right? Not 5 minutes later again, there's another knock at the door, and they opened. I wasn't there for this, but they opened the door and they see pizza being delivered.
Right.
At first, they're confused. Like, why are we getting pizza? We didn't order for this.
Wow, you didn't order the pizza?
No, we didn't order the pizza. They didn't order the pizza, but they got the pizza. But it turns out, that Daniel's last wish that was uploaded on Facebook, right, was that he wants to have a slice of pizza. Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird.
That is quite interesting.
Didn't order the pizza at all?
No, we didn't order pizza, but that was Daniel's last wish. So it turns out what happened was that Ross, where he worked at, along with my mom and her boyfriend, Ross found out from this information that Daniel wanted pizza, right? So I think what they did was they sent all the families and friends that knew Daniel a box of pizza, right? So it's like, Daniel is, you know,
it's kind of like they sent his own message, you know.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. Wow,
really interesting how I think you kind of touched in on this, and I would like you to touch in on it more. That he was there, like Daniel was there, but also not there in person.
Right. Like,
could you elaborate on that?
Are you talking about with the flower analogy?
Yeah, like I think you mentioned something like how his spirit was there. Yeah. Like, what he was trying to convey.
Yes. Okay. So I kind of got this from the movie Ghost.
Oh, Ghost, that's right. Love that movie.
How some people, they don't go straight to heaven or whatever you believe, but they'll stay back behind because there's something that they need to do. There's not requirement, but some goal or some task they need to fulfill. And it seems like he wanted to let you guys know, like, he felt like he couldn't leave yet unless he let everyone know, like, I'm okay, I'm all right. Yeah. You know, like, go on. Remember me, love me, but continue with your life, you know?
It's okay.
It's okay. Exactly. And it's really interesting thinking about the flower.
Yes.
How it was replaced, you know? As in, like, yes, I am gone. I'm not here physically, but my life has not stopped. Yeah. I've now continued, as you said before, like, it's a new life. He's here. He's letting everyone know I'm still alive, you know, in the spirit, and I'm lively. I'm loving my life. I'm living, as a new person. But, you know, I have gone. Just know that I'm still here, though. You know, I can feel you. You can feel me, you know?
It's like what you're saying is making me think of legacy. Yes. It's like he's saying, like, live on my legacy of having good memories, being good people. Yes.
And he kind of sent the flower as a reminder too. Like, don't just look at me as just someone that passed. I'm still here.
I'll always be
right.
here. Like, as long as you remember me.
Exactly. I will be here. Kind of like the actual movie, what is it called? Coco. Coco.
Yes.
And,
yes.
The Book of Life.
Yes.
That's how they feel. If you remember the person, you can still visit them at the altar,
Oh my gosh.
And I love how Daniel sent a message. It's like, I'm here. I'm still here with you guys,
Yeah.
This flower's to remind you, I'm still living. I'm still here. It's just, I'm in a different form. I'm spiritually living,
And speaking of which, in a different form, another sign that my mom had gotten was randomly one evening, she opened the door outside and she sees this praying mantis. And at first she's like, what's a praying mantis doing here?
Right.
But then she was curious enough to search up online, what's the symbolic reference or meaning behind a praying mantis? And it turns out, to some Christian beliefs, right, they believe that a praying mantis represents an angel that's watching over you.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
And
it kind of ties back into what we said, like, don't worry,
I'm watching over you.
Exactly. I'm sending someone or myself to watch over you, protect you, still be here, guide you. Now that I can't be here physically, I can give some guidance and support and love,
Exactly. And that was for my mom and her boyfriend, these signs, right, from Daniel. But I wasn't there to witness that. But something I did witness for myself was when we were actually at the burial for the cemetery, right? And I don't know if you know the singer Bryan Adams, but he was one of the main, what you call it, like not film composers, songwriters for the film Spirit. And interesting how it's called Spirit now, thinking about it. I had gone on Spirit Airlines and one of Bryan Adams' songs was played at Daniel's funeral for the which is like, oh my god.
It's like his spirit was always there. He was
spirit,
just letting you know.
like the word spirit keeps coming. Okay, that's another thing on its own. But yeah, so one of Bryan Adams' songs were playing, and I don't remember what it was called, but all I remember is that when everyone was just silently listening to this piece, right, during the chorus or like the intense part of the song, I kid you not, a strong but gentle breeze took over the area, took over the cemetery. And it got to the point where I just closed my eyes and enjoyed that gentle breeze just going through my hair and just like gently caressing my face. And it's like, I felt like there was a presence next to me.
Right.
I felt like Daniel was there saying, hey, it's gonna be okay, right? Like, don't be sad that I'm gone. Be happy that I was here.
Right.
Be happy that, we all shared these memories together and just live on with them, right? So, and then another sign that I got was right after, that service was over. In my eulogy, I had mentioned that, Daniel was the one that promised me he would be there on my 21st giving a toast.
Right.
And then at the end of my eulogy for him, I said that, if I turn 21, I'll give a toast to cherishing memories and cherishing life, right? So Daniel's family remembers this, and they come up to me. I think his cousin or sister comes up to me saying that, hey, when's your 21st? Like, let's get together for that.
Right.
And I kid you not, right after she says that, like, let's celebrate your 21st, referencing my eulogy I said for him, my sister notes out that there's a ladybug on me. Now, here's the thing. Okay, a ladybug. So what, right? But that's not all. Not only was a ladybug on me in that exact moment, but ladybugs started flying on everybody. So it wasn't just one ladybug, it was multiple of them. And after the ceremony was like, the service was concluded,
right,
ladybugs started landing on people. Do you happen to know what they could represent?
It's crazy because when I think of ladybugs, or what I've heard is blessings as well as good luck.